Hi, it's April. Today I'm going to talk about the books that I have read so far this year. I don't think I put any videos up in March. I may have done the one that was intended to be put up in February, but we're not going to talk about that. So this is my last month of school. My finals week is like 3 weeks from now, so we're kind of getting in there. I'm so tired. I have so much going on. I have no idea when I'm gonna get this video up. Bear with me. In 2025, so far, I've read 9 books, which honestly isn't that bad. It's not as many as I would like to have read, but it's okay. I read 4 books in January, 3 books in February, and I read 2 books in March. I do not have the data on April because it is currently April. As you can tell, there is a steady downward trend. I really just did not have the time or emotional space to also read. In January, I read Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, A Master of Gin by P. Djeli Clark, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and A Poetry Handbook by Mary Oliver. Half a Soul is about this girl named Dora who lives in Regency, England, and she and her cousin and her aunt go to London so that her cousin can find a husband. Except Dora has been cursed by a fairy in her childhood so that she only has half of her soul, and so she doesn't feel emotions very well, and she has a hard time communicating with other people. While she's there, she meets Elias, the Grand Sorcier, I think. He's like the king's wizard, and he takes an interest in her curse and agrees to help her try and solve it. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it. I had such a good time. It was so good. I'm pretty sure it's a debut novel, and I just discovered the other day that there are like 3 or 4 more. Those are going on my shelf. Master of Gin is a historical urban fantasy, I think, set in Cairo, about this girl named Fatma who works kind of as a police officer. It kind of gives like Auror from Harry Potter a little bit. Like, she goes out and just figures out why weird stuff is happening, but it's like magical weird stuff. She doesn't do like regular crimes. And this guy comes and he claims to be this reincarnation of this really old spiritualist magical guy, and he's trying to bring her at the end of the world, and she's like, no thanks. And she has to try and stop him. And she's also got a situationship with her bestie. I forgot her name. But it's pretty cool. I like the historical aspect. I like seeing magic set in Egypt. I don't read a lot of that, so I don't know if that's if there's much out there that does that, but I haven't heard much about it. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. Honestly, thinking about it, I probably would have given it 3 stars if I were being fair, but I think I felt bad in the moment for just being kind of meh about it. It was pretty good. I think if you like history, and especially if you like Muslim-based fantasy, you could try this one out. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins is a book that almost everybody has read. and most everybody has heard of, especially given the new one that just came out. And most people I know have read this in middle school. I did not. I wanted to read it in 4th grade because my best friend had read it, but my mom said no. And so by the time I was old enough to read it, I just didn't care anymore. So I finally read it. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was good. I thought it was definitely interesting, but I kind of didn't care that much. I know, it's like I feel bad. I'm gonna read the next one, but more because I feel like I have to, and not because I want to. I think I'm just not in a like dystopian moment in my life. I don't need the extra stress, and it makes me nervous. I want books that make me feel joy and happiness. I'm tired of being sad. I don't know. I think with school and stuff, I'm not in a place emotionally where I can really like deal with all the deep thoughts that the Hunger Games wants me to feel. Finally, a poetry handbook. I did not read this for fun. I read it for class, but I'm including it because I did read it. I gave it 2 stars. And that was me being generous. Like, it's not even a book of poetry. If it were a book of poetry, maybe I might have had a chance at liking it. But it's literally a handbook on how to write poetry. But it's so like literally, I went into class and I was like, everything went in one ear and out the other. Like, I feel like I'm just hearing like white noise in my head when I read these pages. And then I went in a couple of days later, and my teacher was like, so, do you like it any better now? And I was like, no. I haven't processed anything she said. I could just skim through it and get about the exact same amount of knowledge out of this. 2 stars was me being nice. I honestly probably should have just pretended I hadn't read it. In February, I read 3 books. I read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. Fourth Wing was really popular online for like a while. Only recently, I think, have I started to see it kind of taper off now that the 3rd one released and has like died down. And it's like, it's not well written. The plot isn't like anything new and original. It's incredibly predictable, but it was a good time. I talked to a girl in my class, because she's a big like YA romance reader, and she was reading this new one, like the one with the phone call, First Time Caller. I think, yeah, she was reading that, so I was like, oh, like, is that good? I've seen a lot of people who have talked about it online, like people that I respect, like people who talk about books that I like really respect their opinion, who have said they really liked it. And so I was kind of like, oh, like that's not in their normal, like that's not usually what they talk about. They normally like this like deep, like literature-esque type books. And she was like, oh yeah, it's good. And we started talking about YA and stuff, and I was like, yeah, like it's just, I don't know, because it's like not good. And she's like, no, it's not good, but it's a good time. And you know, sometimes, yeah, like Fourth Wing, nothing special, not really that great, but it was a good time. I'm probably gonna read the next one, so I gave that one 4 stars. The Poppy War is the first in a trilogy, and it is very popular for people who like fantasy and for people who like history, I think. It's about this girl who grows up involved in the opium trade in China, and to get out of it, she takes this test, like the state test, in secret, and she ends up placing like highest in her village somehow, and gets into the like military academy where she discovers she can like do this like she can like channel the gods like magically somehow. So the first half is her going to school and like learning how to fight and stuff, and there's like it's like girl's going through it. I think I was reading it, and every page I was like, oh no, like it was just rough, just not having a good time. And then the second half is war, like can you if you can imagine people turning on their TVs and for the first time ever seeing a recording of like literal warfare, that's how I felt. I was like, oh my god, I have been so sheltered up until this moment. Like, the stress I went through during that second half of the book. I had to completely shift my mindset from reading a book I would like to reading a book that is good. Like, did I have a good time? No. Is the book really, really good? Yes. It's incredibly well written. The characters make sense for what they're going through. You see this clear character development as she becomes worse. Like, this is not one of those books where you get to the end and they save their kingdom and they save their family and they win and everybody's happy and they fall in love. No, this is one of those where she gets worse. Like, the people are bad, so she decides to be more bad. They hurt her, so she decides to hurt them more. And I stand by that, you know? Go off. I have the next two. I just don't have them on me. And I cannot deal with that right now. I gave that one 5 stars. Third, The Games Gods Play is a like YA. I don't know if it counts as fantasy, but it's definitely like fiction. It's like an alternate version of just like the world where like Greek mythology is practiced. It's real, it exists. So every, I think 10 years, maybe it might be 100 years, but every like certain amount of time, they hold like the games, or the crucible it's called, where each of the gods picks a champion who then fights to determine who will be the king of the gods until the next crucible. And this main girl, I forgot her name, I really did not care about her at all the entire time. But she gets picked. She's like a thief. And her thing is that when she was a baby, she was cursed by Zeus so that nobody would ever love her. Like, they can like her, they can be fond of her, but like they're just kind of like nobody will ever love her. So like her parents abandoned her to the Guild of Thieves or whatever because they didn't love her. And she can't ever like be in a relationship, she can't ever really have friends, like all of her life is miserable and it sucks. And then Hades picks her to fight for him in the crucible. And she's like, huh? Because first of all, Hades is not supposed to participate because he is king of the underworld, so he's already a king. He doesn't need to also be king of like Olympus. And all of the other players are kind of like, oh, we can't let Hades be king because they're like scared of what he might do if he becomes king. They think he's gonna like burn down the world or something. And then I mean, it's a Hades mortal girl romance. So, I think you can imagine how this goes. I thought it was like fine. There were moments where I was having a good time, but there were also other moments where I was like, wow, this is so YA. Like, everything that you might associate with a Hades romance that's in there. He's like the dark and broody, like, definitely like CEO coded, like, in this suit with his like cell phone and his guard dog and his sleek black car, and like they go to his penthouse in San Francisco and he's got black leather couches and it's so like tech modern, and I was so sick of it. And he calls her like he's got like a stupid pet name. I think it might be Star. I don't remember. I was not into it. And like, I gave it 3 stars because I like kind of had a good time, but it was so dumb. And I was just like, I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't really feel anything the whole time. The end, I was like, ooh, interesting, but it like wasn't enough for me to really care about reading the second one. So I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I care enough. In March, I read 2 books. I read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn, and I read Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranek. Romancing Mr. Bridgerton is the 4th book in the Bridgerton series, I think. I started the series like a long time ago. I think right after the first season of the show came out. I don't remember, but I remember being very upset. I would read the book and I would be mad, and then I would read the next book and I would still be mad. And every time, it's like, it's because in the show, the men are like semi-historically accurate, but they're like, you know, not. They're like nice. And then in the book, there's more of an effort to make them accurate for the time, which means we get moments of I think literally in the second book, Anthony says something about like, legally I own you, and I was like, cringe, red flag, no. I liked the third one though, the one with Sophie. I thought she was cool. I liked her. I like a Cinderella story. But this one, this is Penelope and Colin, and they wanted me to like Colin so bad. All the time, like he's so nice. He's like the only one that I just really get along with, and I feel this connection. And then and then he would literally chew her out. Be all about like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this all by yourself, and like, how dare you, I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna tear it up, and I don't respect you. And then we go into Penelope's like point of view, and she'd be all like, oh, he never yells, he never gets mad. And I'm like, girl, he was screaming at you 2 pages ago. And like, every time Colin would get angry, he'd have a moment where he would just be shocked, because he'd be like, oh, I never get like this. And I'm like, literally a couple of minutes ago, you were talking, like, they wanted me to like him so bad, and I just didn't like him. I don't think he's a good person. I think he's disrespectful, and I think he doesn't deserve my appreciation. And they also, like, they tried to make me see Penelope, like they wanted me to see her as this independent girl boss, but like, not really. She has her moments, but I don't know. And like, maybe it's historically accurate, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. And when I finished it, I like wasn't even like satisfied by the like the romance and whatever. First of all, the like spicy bits, I thought it was cringe. I thought it was icky. I literally could not get out like. Their other books were fine. I can get through it. This one could not get through it. Was not attractive. Was not cute. And so by the end, I was like, it's fine. It was fine, I guess. So I gave it 3 stars. I don't know if I'm gonna read the next ones. Like, this was one that I was trying to collect, but I really don't think I care about the other characters. Like, I could see myself getting through Eloise's story, but the like summary does not entice me. Like, her dude just sounds like he's gonna be disrespectful. I'm also not really into a plot where a girl like runs away to marry some random guy. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And I also can't see the appeal in Gregory and Hyacinth having their like thing. Because to me, like, I'm still imagining them as they were in Daphne's book, where they were like literal children. And I just really don't care about them as characters. Like, I see them as the little sibling. So I'm not really interested in their romances. I could potentially get behind Francesca, but I just don't, like, she's not in the story enough for me to really care. Where the Dark Stands Still, however, that one is slept on. It was so good. I tore through that book. I was having such a good time. And when I finished it, I had to I had to hide the book. Like, I had it on my desk. I had to like hide it under stuff because I would look at it and I would feel genuine anger because I was having such a good time. It was such a cute little story. Everything was happy and good. It was so cute. The characters were compelling and I felt like the story made sense and I was having a good time and I love the magic system and this is a book that I'm probably gonna reread someday. I remember my like Goodreads review is something about like, I wish I could go back to the person I was before I read this so I could read it for the first time again. And also, I want to eat this book. Like, I wish I could literally take it into myself and make it a part of me. I will never be the same person I was before I read this book. Please read it. One of the reviews I saw said something about his nickname for her, Clever Fox, or Not So Clever Fox. And one of the comments was like, oh, like, I see how this is gonna go. And like, yes, it was a little bit cringe for him to have a stupid pet name for her. However, I am allowing it. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. I don't make the rules. I love him. And it's kind of goofy and it like works, I think, for them. Like, I don't like it when it's cringe and it's like degrading and it's intended to like infantilize. It's not my anything. He's just kind of messing with her. That's his right. Let a man have hobbies. So I gave that one 5 stars. And the author, this is her debut novel, but she wrote another one. It's not a sequel. I don't think there's gonna be a sequel, but I can still dream and hope that there will be a sequel where they get a happy ending. Because I think there's a way it could work. I think there's a way it could happen. But she wrote another book based on Swan Lake, and you better bet I'm gonna be purchasing it. Take my money. I love her. I think she's gonna be an auto buy. So that is all the books that I have on my list. Unfortunately, there's not that many, but it's only April, so I'll probably post another one of these in a couple of months, like after the summer, maybe July or August. My current read right now is She Who Became the Sun. I'm reading it on Kindle, and I picked that one because it is on like the Goodreads challenges that finish at the end of the month. I know I said I don't have time to read the Dragon Republic right now, I think is the next Poppy War book, and yet I'm reading a book that is like kind of on the same like lines in terms of difficulty, but this one gets me like a challenge checked off on my Goodreads. So if it doesn't end up being something that I feel like I can do, I'm just gonna read Percy Jackson. Thank you all for watching. I'll try to get this and the 2 other videos that I'm working on up very soon. And like and subscribe, I guess.